We're here outside Philadelphia City Hall, where in just a short time, the mayor and the police are supposed to give an update on the July 4th shooting in which 2 officers were shot. Now, around the city, people want answers. They want to know what led up to this, and they want to know what the city's going to do to protect them in the next event. Thousands of abortion rights supporters are gathering outside Philadelphia City Hall. They started over here towards JFK Street, but now they spilled out on the 15th Street. They're all here protesting the overturning of Roe v. Wade by the Supreme Court. Representative Brian Fitzpatrick was in Doylestown, Bucks County today, touting new legislation he says will help the ongoing mental health crisis in America among children. He says the current approach is not enough. The bail for Jayana Webb was set at $600,000. Her next court proceeding, her formal arraignment, is set for July 13th. In Center City, Chilekasi Adele, NBC10 News. Well, you know, if the Sixers have their way, this building in Philadelphia's Fashion District could be their arena in less than a decade. The question is, where's the parking? Well, they say you should take SEPTA. The problem is, a lot of people, especially those in the suburbs, say that's simply not an option. I'm here outside Love Park in the city of Philadelphia, where it was just announced that the city of brotherly love will be one of the host cities for the 2026 World Cup. Since about 2 o'clock, fans were parked around here in Love Park waiting for the announcement, and now that it's finally come, they are very jubilant.
Anguish.
So today is a great day.
And relief. A juxtaposition of emotions pouring into the streets of Philadelphia at the same time.
We've been in existence since 1972 and have been fighting to see this day ever since we began.
In Old City, positive reactions from opponents of abortion rights. It's a day many of them desired for nearly 50 years. But the feeling was much different at City Hall. Thousands of abortion rights supporters taking to the streets. Signs of resilience and deflation.
We're taking a step back in time, and we're out here to show that this is not what we believe in.
It feels very hopeless, and it feels like I've done my part and our politicians have not.
The court's decision leaves the future of abortion rights to the states. Local anti-abortion rights groups say the battle does not stop here.
The end of abortion is a thrill, and we continue to fight to see it ended in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
The discussion reinvigorated over one of America's biggest splits. In Center City, Chilekasi Adele, NBC10 News.
You know, right behind me, this looks like your regular average building, but inside, let me tell you, you can cook, you can take music classes, you can take beauty and makeup classes. It's all about keeping kids in there and off the streets.
I firmly believe that the biggest problem that we have in Philadelphia is generational curse. You know, and if we can nip it in the bud now by getting them enrolled in these programs, I think we'll have a better years to come.
Ricky Duncan has made a career out of diverting kids from crime. He believes growing up in poverty is a big part of why youth violence is up in Philadelphia. This past week alone, 2 kids charged with murder for beating a 73-year-old man with a traffic cone. 4 teens shot in Spring Garden, 3 of them hit in the face, and most recently, a 14-year-old boy turning himself in for a SEPTA station shooting.
The doors open and then bullets fly.
Data from the city controller shows as of Thursday, at least 141 kids have been shot this year. 24 of them have died.
Rakai's been struggling.
That's why Duncan started NOMO, a nonprofit looking to reduce youth crime.
If you do see a kid just hanging around the corner with a lot of idle time, which is the devil play toy, direct them to one of these programs.
Programs like vocational training during the school year. During the summer, field trips allow kids to escape their neighborhoods and give them activities so they stay out of trouble.
Every Saturday we put together some type of event that take these kids away from the hustle and bustle and the violence-plagued streets of Philadelphia.
The trips, the training, all free for kids all the way to 26-year-olds. Duncan hoping stepping in early will keep them on the right path.
We're trying to get everybody on a new path, create a new generation of proactive and pro-social thinking aware people.
You can visit NOMO on their website or on social media if you want to get your kids involved in this foundation. Reporting in South Philly, Chilekasi Adele, NBC10 News. We're here at this Sunoco in Haddon Township, New Jersey, where gas is currently sitting at $4.59 a gallon cash, $4.67 credit. You know, that's a little bit down from a few weeks ago where gas was over $5 a gallon. But experts at Gas Buddy say that gas could trickle down in the Garden State in some places under $4 a gallon in about 3 days' time. So we told that to people back at the Wawa down the street. Here's what some of them had to say.
I'll be grateful with that, yeah.
It's a start.
It is, but $2 that'll be good.
That's what we
Gas,
want.
yeah, gas needs to be like $2.
I don't think it'll possibly happen. How could it drop 60-something cents? It just cost me $50 to fill it up, and it usually costs me $20.
So some people want it to go down more. Others won't believe it until they drive in and see the price down under $4 at the sign itself. Well, we spoke to financial expert Rob Wilson earlier, and here's what he told us about why we're experiencing some of these drops.
The price of a barrel of oil has come down a lot in the last few weeks. I mean, 20% in the last couple of weeks. Now, it takes a little while for that to filter itself through to the pump. But as we get further along in the year, we'll see the price at the pump start to track the price of gas. And hopefully we start to get a little bit more relief.
Back out here now, Wilson also says that we can start to see drops in other aspects of our lives as well. So if you're going to the grocery store, your peppers are up, your bread, your milk, your eggs are all up. Well, transportation costs going down because of the oil prices could also lead to a trickle-down effect as well. So some relief, it may not come immediately, but Wilson says it'll eventually come. We're in Haddon Township, New Jersey. Chilekasi Adele, NBC10 News.
Bonner Prendy's Kevin McGonigal is back home in Delaware County. Just 4 days ago, he was in LA at Dodger Stadium, where baseball's biggest stars will take the field tonight.
It's Kevin McGonigal, another cold weather guy from Eastern Pennsylvania.
The rising senior invited to play in a high school All-American game amongst the nation's best high school players.
It was just like a dream come true, walking through the hallways of the major league guys I've been through, and just that locker room we stayed in.
His mother, Tracy, was there too, a surreal moment watching him in the City of Angels.
Incredible. I get goosebumps when I think about it. You know, he's on the doorstep of all of his dreams, and as his mom, it just makes my heart happy.
Kevin had a hit in Friday's game, turning on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball in the first, but the speed itself came as a little bit of a curveball.
That's the first time I've seen 96. I've seen the lower 90s, but it was definitely pretty cool to see that.
Kevin loved being in LA, and his parents recognized his love for the game early.
We kind of knew he was good even when he was in diapers, honestly. I mean, he picked up the bat and he just knew what to do. It was inside, it was in him.
I would be in the living room, my dad would have little Nerf balls, I would have a little Philadelphia Phillies bat, and I would just be hitting in the living room.
This prestigious All-Star game, the biggest highlight in a schedule that has been unrelenting. Recent games have taken him to states like North Carolina and Georgia.
This is the first he's been home pretty much all summer. But he loves it. It's something he really enjoys.
But tonight, Kevin says he'll carve out time to watch the stars, with the hope of one day taking the field in a Midsummer Classic on his mind.
It's a dream, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to get there.
Chilekasi Adele, NBC10 News.
NBC10 News starts now.
Right now on NBC10 News, scrambling for safety. A high school reunion in Philadelphia's Fairmount Park ends with some alumni in the hospital and others running for cover. Pete Rose returns. The all-time MLB hit king stepped onto the field at Citizens Bank Park to mark Alumni Weekend, but not without controversy. How his past is playing into the celebration and what he told a female reporter today. Thanks for being with us on this Sunday. I'm Chilekasi Adele. We'll get to Phillies Alumni Weekend at the ballpark in just a moment, but let's begin with a near tragedy in Fairmount Park when a tree fell on top of people celebrating a high school reunion. Good morning, I'm Chilekasi Adele. Here's a live look from Center City. We will warm into the 90s, but as the humidity builds, it will feel much hotter, and that means storms could move in starting this afternoon. Today, Pete Rose returned to Philadelphia as part of a ceremony to honor the 1980 world champion Phillies. Rose has been banned from baseball since 1989 for gambling on games during his playing and managing career. Then, in 2017, testimony in federal court alleged that Rose had a sexual relationship with a young teenage girl in the 70s when she was underage and he was in his 30s. During today's ceremony, he received a mix of cheers and boos from the crowd at the ballpark. We are following breaking news in the tensions between the U.S. and China. Beijing announced it is cutting off high-level cooperation with the United States in several key areas, including military communications and crime prevention. The announcement follows House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's controversial stop in Taiwan during her Asia trip this week. The U.S. government assured China Pelosi's visit signaled no changes in the United States' position toward Taiwan and China. However, Chinese leaders strongly opposed the move and will now halt communication between the U.S. and Chinese military commanders in the region. They also suspended cooperation of the repatriation of illegal immigrants, combating transnational crimes, and climate change talks. Beijing also handed down sanctions against Nancy Pelosi personally for her visit to Taiwan.
NBC10 breaking news.
Breaking right now at 11, was it a tornado that blew through parts of Camden County early this morning? Skyforce 10 was over a neighborhood in Blackwood and Pine Hill, Camden County, less than an hour ago. We found trees toppled over and debris spread all over the place. National Weather Service will be investigating this area to see exactly what happened here. Gas prices crept up again overnight. The national average is just below $5, a price it has never hit before. Parts of our area have seen gas over $5 for more than a week. In Philadelphia, the average is $5.11, but some drivers are paying way more. In South Jersey, a gallon of gas is about $4.99, the same as yesterday. Northern Delaware also went unchanged overnight, sticking at $4.98 a gallon. While most of us use regular or even premium to fill up, diesel fuel has skyrocketed. It's averaging more than $6 a gallon right now. One local trucker says he's been working for 16 years and has never seen things this bad, and the extra cost could get passed on to you. Businesses on South Street are in the midst of a difficult summer. Two dark incidents dim the lights on this area that's typically a bright spot for city nightlife. You'll remember back on June 5th, that shooting that killed 3 people and injured 11 others. Then just last Friday, fire broke out at Jim Steaks. The owner plans to reopen, but repairs will take a while. Other South Street business owners are now doing what they can to bring people back to South Street. Here's NBC10's Randy Gyllenhaal. Coming up, a breakthrough on Capitol Hill. The Senate passes landmark legislation on climate change, how they got it done, and what's in the law. And the video of the day goes to the dogs, these surfing dogs, that is. Stick with us.